Hello everyone, welcome back to the Undercut and welcome to day 2 of Formula 1 testing. So, what do you think of that then? We've had 2 days of testing now. We've had safety car procedures, red light procedures, VSC procedures, a few quick laps from a few drivers, but generally a lot of the same from what we saw yesterday, I'd say.
Yeah, we had a bit more power hour, as Joey and Palmer like to say.
Power hour. We did have power hour.
Or
Especially
Anthony
from Carlos
Davidson.
Sainz.
Anthony Davidson's happy hour.
Yeah, Anthony Davidson's happy hour. So, I mean, the first thing I think we've got to get into is, what do you think the order is going to be going into the Bahrain Grand Prix based on what we've seen today? Because yesterday, we sort of predicted it, but it's harder to tell because yesterday was mostly long runs from pretty much everyone. But now we've had a few quick laps on the C4s. Carlos Sainz.
One quick lap on the C4s.
Well, we had Carlos Sainz on the C4s. We had Hamilton putting in a decent time. Perez went for a bit of a faster run as well. Daniel Ricciardo.
They all went C3s. It was only Perez and Ricciardo that went C4s.
No, Carlos Sainz was C4 and Daniel Ricciardo was C4.
I mean not Perez. Sainz and Ricciardo C4. Everyone else was C3s.
Still representative lap times though. It looked like the cars were a bit lighter. They definitely pushed on. But what do you take from that?
Ferrari are quick.
Ferrari look quick, don't they?
Ferrari are quick. That's what I've taken from that. Ferrari are quick.
I still think Red Bull are miles clear though. Personally,
I don't know if they're miles clear.
I think they are.
I think they're. What I would say is I'd say Red Bull are still top. Ferrari 2/10 off maybe, and then Mercedes, McLaren 3-4 tenths off.
I think Ferrari are 4-5 tenths off Red Bull.
No.
I gotta say, I think they are. Just off the basis that Perez was on the C3s and Max wasn't in the car. Max automatically adds a few more tenths over Perez.
Yeah,
and the C3s as well.
Sainz did his laps a good hour and a half, 2 hours before on them C4s. He didn't do it at the end like Perez did and Hamilton did. Yeah,
that's true. Maybe track temperature plays into that. But I think as well, Ferrari looked quick, but I'm still not over how quick that Red Bull looked yesterday under Max Verstappen.
It did look quick under Max Verstappen.
It was on rails. It was on rails. But either way, today, what do you think our main takeaways are for today?
Ferrari have an underlying pace. Ferrari have pace in the car. Ferrari have major pace in the car. Mercedes looked a lot better compared to last year. Their car just looks more racy, like you can be more aggressive with it this year, which is better than last year. Like the lap that Hamilton did with this 1:31.0, it didn't light up anything. The car looked racier, looked like it could throw the car in compared to last year when it was just like Bambi on ice.
It was. It looks very quick in the slow speed corners. Very quick. It surprised me actually when he did his first quick lap towards the end of the session, and then he threw it into turn 1, and I was just took back by how much the car just was so pointy into turn 1.
I think we got used to the last 2 years that Mercedes just.
Yeah, I was waiting for the Mercedes to just like. I was expecting the back end to step out or something. The car just stuck through turn 1. It was crazy.
It's promising that for Mercedes.
It is. But how much do you reckon their performance has been compromised for a more stable car this year? Do you reckon?
Obviously, they're faster than last year already.
But how much do you reckon a lot of the performance gains that they could have had have gone into making that car more stable? In comparison to maybe Red Bull, who could be a little bit more, at least on Max's side of the garage, a little bit more aggressive, as they put it.
I don't know. it's a sacrifice that they had to make in a way.
Mm.
They had to sacrifice their concept for a more stable. There's no way that George and Lewis could go another year off that again.
No, it wasn't great, was it?
They were going race to race, not knowing what car was coming.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't do that fundamentally, and I don't know. Maybe we might see a slow start to the season from Mercedes while they're learning about this car. But the performance will come back to them.
Yeah, hopefully.
It will. I mean, they look thereabouts on pace with McLaren and Ferrari, other than Sainz doing the C4.
Yeah.
They don't look off pace. They look like they're thereabouts. So.
One thing that interested me though was when Ted said don't count Alpine out after speaking to him, and that interests me because I've been saying anyway yesterday, Alpine, I don't know, they just didn't impress me when I saw the car on track. It sort of looked like something was wrong there fundamentally with the car, but who knows? Maybe we're all counting Alpine out way too soon.
I think I'm not counting them out.
But no one's putting them up there. Everyone's kind of just saying, yeah, it's Alpine, isn't it?
That's because I think they're still mid-park. I mean, I think we've still got the same. The only team that could break into the Big Four, which we know the Big Four are McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. The only team that I see breaking into the Big Four is Aston Martin out of them lot. I think it's a V-Carb, an Alpine, a Williams. Stake maybe. They've been impressive, Stake, with the laps that they're putting in as well. The only team I'd say that's like Aston Martin will either be with a Big Four or them lot, and then Haas are just they're getting the laps in. They've just got no pace.
No, they've got no pace. And speaking of getting laps in, it's interesting. I think the trend from yesterday has been continued once again. Reliability, it's off the charts. I don't think I've ever seen an F1 testing where, the most we're getting on day 2 is little niggles here and there. We had Red Bull, McLaren, Williams have still got the most problems, but overall, most of the teams look very, very solid, and it's surprising. McLaren obviously had a little scare, didn't they, towards the end of Lando Norris, whether they'd get him back out, but they did. Red Bull had that scare when Perez had to trundle back to the pits. Williams again, little scares here and there with the brakes and the covers over the wheels. But other than that, pretty solid reliability from everyone. Yeah, and that's really surprising to me because, I've never seen an F1 testing where cars have been so reliable. So yeah, reliability is it's crazy how reliable the cars are. I've never been to an F1 test. I've never seen an F1 test that is so reliable. All the cars are just too. That's the whole part of F1, right? The jeopardy of of having a failure. And some would say for good, for bad, but most of the time it adds an extra layer of excitement to a race. Yeah. If there's a chance that first place could have a retirement, have a failure, an engine failure, gearbox, whatever it may be, and we've seen it over the years, it affect championships, races, results, whatever it may be. And it adds this extra layer of excitement. But we're entering an era where just for some reason all the cars are just really, really reliable. I'm not saying it's a bad thing though, I guess, because reliability. I don't ever wish anyone to retire from a race. Well, unless you're directly opposing my favorite driver. But I never wish anyone to retire. But it's I don't know. I feel like that jeopardy is almost gone now. You don't ever really think about it.
But you knew that was coming though. The way that engineering goes, the way everything's going in the modern day, you knew cars were just going to get more and more reliable. It was inevitable. So
yeah, it was
the way life is.
Yeah, and I think that's the direction we're going to probably be going for a fair few years. I expect when the regulations change, they will probably go back to a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have some more because obviously new parts, new regulations, new things going to cause some form of reliability issues, but looking good for everyone at the moment. I mean, yeah, I don't think we've had a bad day. Obviously, half bad days for Williams. McLaren saved their day where it was looking a bit rogues today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been arguably one of the best but dullest testings.
Yeah, it's good because you get to see everyone come back, but I think arguably it's one of the closest tests as well. Like usually, obviously everyone says this is something that we said it yesterday. We'll probably say it tomorrow, and we've said it a million times before the test as well. Never take anything from testing. You can't do it, right? But every single time there's a test, you always can take something. And, whether it was 2019, we knew that Ferrari was fast, obviously turned out to be illegal. Last year, we knew Red Bull was quick and Aston Martin could potentially challenge. 2014, I remember everyone being shocked by how quick Mercedes were and how Red Bull was so unreliable. That turned out to be a massive theme. So massive themes do come up during testing that will play out through the season. And I think but this test, I can't determine any sort of order or any sort of, oh yeah, that's going to happen. It's weird.
You can't determine a necessary order right now, though, can you?
No, but the thing is, usually, I mean, maybe Red Bull, it's obvious they're going to be at the front, but who's second? You don't know. You could be anyone.
If you have to edge your bets, you would edge Ferrari, wouldn't you, right now?
Yeah, but it could easily be McLaren, Mercedes, or Aston Martin. Maybe even Alpine, if what they're saying is true. You don't know.
I think you're reading too much into that Alpine problem.
Yeah, probably. But
you got to remember last year, Alpine was saying, "Oh, we're there. We've done it. We're going to be thereabouts with the big boys. Where the hell were they?"
Yeah, they weren't anywhere.
So you got to take everything with a pinch of salt with Alpine.
Well, this is it. I think with the whole of testing, you got to take stuff with a pinch of salt. But
yeah, I mean, the only eventful part of testing we had really was deja vu for Ferrari with drain covers. Yeah. That was weird, wasn't it? I feel really bad for Alex Albon, What?
because I feel because with the problems he had yesterday, and then obviously his running got cut short today as well because of
No, he didn't.
The drain cover.
He didn't run today.
He ran this morning.
No.
Did he not?
No, Logan did all day.
Oh, well, that shows you how much I paid attention.
Yeah. Logan did all day today.
I could have swore Albon did this morning, but no, must not.
No.
Must not have done. Is Albon doing all day tomorrow then, I'm assuming?
I would assume, yes.
Okay, I don't feel bad for Alex Albon.
No, I was going to say, where are you going with this?
I don't know.
Well, Ferrari and drain covers, and you bring Alex Albon.
No, I just thought because obviously they red flagged it for a while, it stops people getting some. I mean, to be fair, if there's one part of testing that you'd want probably there to be red flagged and stopped, it's probably the morning session, because the morning session is the one where is least representative of the Grand Prix. So
not a whole hour and a half of it.
No, it's not great, but I'm just saying if there's one, it's that one you want. You'd rather not have, the later one that would have been a bit problematic probably. It's where we see more representative times, but yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? How for some reason that's happened on a actual racetrack when it shouldn't happen on an actual racetrack. I get a street circuit like Vegas, but Bahrain.
It was a bit strange being on the racetrack, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you'd think the racetrack would be designed for that to not happen. Whereas a street circuit's like, yeah, there's manholes everywhere.
Yeah.
It happened at Malaysia, though, a few years back.
It did, yeah. A while ago. But it's going to happen once in a blue moon, isn't it? But
yeah.
Yeah.
that's pretty much it from testing, I think. There's not much more to really unpack today.
You've just got your roundup. You've got your... Everyone's hitting around the same amount of laps as they did yesterday. Science quick. Red Bull still quick. Mercedes look quick. McLaren quick.
Mercedes look planted, which is good for them.
Logan got a good amount of laps in today, actually.
Hopefully he builds his confidence from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, I think that's pretty much it for the day 2 roundup of testing. A bit bleak, in all honesty. Not really much to talk about in comparison to yesterday, but hopefully tomorrow we get some fast laps. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we will. It's going to be towards the evening.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of F1 testing.